Hey everyone, happy Vet Tech Week and welcome to another Facebook Live. I'm your host, Jess.
And I'm your host, Lauren.
And today we are talking all things vet tech with our special guest. Megan is joining us once again this year. We're so grateful every time she comes to share her expertise. So thank you so much for being here, Megan.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Awesome. Before we jump into all of the good content, Lauren's going to give us our couple tips and tricks for Facebook Live, and then we'll get right into it.
Sounds good. So first of all, it is Vet Tech Week. So the first thing we want you to do is give yourself a shout out in the comments if you're a vet tech. You deserve it, and we want to celebrate you. You can also feel free to tag and share this with your network. Any other vet techs that you know, we want them all to join in on the celebration and feel so good for all the hard work they do this week. We just ask that, as always, you don't share any personal information in the very public comment section. So if you need to get in touch with us, you're already a student, you can call Student Services at 1-888-427-1000. If you are not yet a Penn Foster student, but want to hear more about Penn Foster, would like to know more about our vet tech program, we would love to talk to you. You can call an admission specialist at 1-888-427-6500. And of course, they will cover the vet tech program, but we could talk to you all about it on the phone too. So without further ado, Megan, please give us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Penn Foster to kick us off.
Yeah. Well, as I said, my name is Megan Chadwick. I am the academic director for our veterinary programs at Penn Foster. So I oversee all of the animal-related programs, including our veterinary technician program, and I am also a credentialed veterinary technician.
So we couldn't have anybody better to be joining us today because you know the ins and outs of how to train vet techs and then, on a personal level, what vet techs go through. So as I'm sure you would agree, they very much deserve to have a week that recognizes all of their hard work. So can you tell us a little bit about what National Vet Tech Week is?
Yeah, so National Vet Tech Week is celebrated every year in October. And it is when everybody gets to celebrate, of course, veterinary technicians and the veterinary profession. It's really a great opportunity to do both, bring awareness to veterinary technicians and their role and what they do in the veterinary field, and just some time to make sure that we, show our appreciation for all their hard work that they do all year round.
That's so important. I feel like, especially working with you, Megan, and anytime we get the opportunity to talk, we always talk about how important recognizing vet techs is and recognizing everything that they really bring to a practice or, anywhere where they're working. And this is the week where we take the time to do all of that. And then those dates are October 16th through the 22nd. So this is our official kickoff. We usually do our Facebook Lives on Wednesdays for anybody who watches, but this week we're doing it to kick off the week here on Monday. So we're really glad to get an opportunity to just sit and talk about all things vet tech. And this year's theme, which there's a theme every year, is resilience in the heart of veterinary medicine. So being a vet tech yourself and also, working to educate future vet techs and create these programs, what does that theme really mean to you?
Yeah, so I mean, the last few years have really been difficult for a lot of us, especially those in the veterinary field and veterinary technicians. So we've had to, in veterinary medicine, had to deal with a lot of change and challenges, and it caused a lot of people to having to constantly adapt and change really very quickly. So I mean, that to me right there is resilience, the ability to do those things.
Yeah, I think what you said is exactly right. I know, as we look at the vet tech industry, like one thing we found since the onset of the pandemic is more people were adopting pets. So with more people adopting pets, it just increased demand at practices and vet hospitals. And then, you know, being remote for so long, that presented unique challenges. There's so much stress on vet techs to help all of these animals and help their owners. And that definitely takes a strong person. And, you know, I know before this, we were talking about some characteristics of resilience that vet techs have. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what those are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I read like a really great article, you know, of course, to help celebrate Vet Tech Week. And it was, you know, talking about actually 7 traits of resilient people. The article was written by like a human nurse, but I really feel that like this article also is very, you know, relates a lot to veterinary technicians. Because you know, basically we are nurses for animals, not people. So resilient people, they're, you know, some of the characteristics that were talked about, like they're able to accept the baseline. So that's a baseline is like your current situation. So as a vet tech, like we don't really focus on like, oh, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like we're resilient and we're able to accept like this is our current situation. And if we aren't happy with that, we go in and we like make the effort to make a change to get to a situation like that is, you know, better. Flexible, veterinary technicians are very flexible, and you know, we're willing to learn, seek solutions. They're resourceful, creative, and you know, another characteristic is, you know, seeking realistic expectations. So you know, I think like those are all very, very fitting.
I think of the ones that you mentioned, setting the realistic expectations, that is something that a lot of people struggle with, and just in like their day to day. But people who work with animals and work with animal, you know, pet owners and things like that, I think it's important that not only they're setting those realistic expectations for themselves of what they can do and what they can handle, but also setting those realistic expectations for the pet owners. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. I mean, any of us who have been in a situation where one of our pets, you know, had an issue or was sick and we had to take them to, God forbid, like an animal hospital or something, it's really difficult to share those you know, expectations or those potential outcomes with pet owners and have them understand, and dealing with the emotional toll and all of those things. Like that is mind-blowing to me that they're able to do that with such grace. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and thank you for the compliment, Jess. Like that is, you know, very, like I can't agree more. I mean, that is definitely one of the strengths and abilities for, you know, resilient vet tech, because I mean it's not easy. You know, like we all want those like, you know, out there expectations where everything is like perfect, and you know, but that leads to, you know, burnout or frustration, right? For the owner, for the people that are working in the field, for the rest of the healthcare team. So really great point.
I was thinking too, with all the characteristics you mentioned, those are all characteristics I think that any of us would want to have in our lives, in our jobs, but it's so hard to be good at those things, like to be good at being flexible, to be good at setting expectations and persevering and truly embodying resilience is not easy when you're faced with, you know, a lot of challenges. And of course there are, you know, a lot of happy moments that come with being a vet tech and getting to really help animals, but there are definitely hard things too, and it really takes a special kind of person to be truly good at resilience in practice, and not just, you know, thinking you are actually doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like I think like vet techs have always been, you know, resilient, but I think these last, you know, few years have really shown just how resilient people that are, you know, in the field already, vet techs, and people that are, you know, pursuing their education to become veterinary technicians. Maybe they're working as a veterinary assistant and they're like upskilling to become that, or, you know, like they're just, you know, I shouldn't say just, but they're like another part of that healthcare team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so many changes have happened, like, you know, having to do like curbside for, you know, animals, like where we couldn't, we had to separate, you know, the owners and their pets. Where the owners had to sit in the car while we took their animals in, and, you know, they had to trust that like we were, you know, taking the best care of their pets, which of course, you know, we are, but like that, there's a lot, right? Like you have to have that, you know, that flexibility and, you know, seek those solutions and be resourceful, right? Because like who would have thought like that would have been something that we've had to do? Like it's always been like, owner comes in, goes into the room, you know, do an exam on their animal, you talk to the owner, but now like we had to get very creative and really pivot on such like short notice.
Yeah, even in that situation with the curbside, the amount of empathy that vet techs have had to show to pet owners is incredible. You know, when you're handing over a member of your family and you're not able to be there with them and explain and talk through their treatment, that is so hard for a lot of pet owners who really, you know, maybe it doesn't have to do with the lack of trust for the veterinary team, but it's still just like so hard to relinquish that control. And vet techs have really had to step up in understanding that and being empathetic to that. And like you said, like putting the pet owners' minds at ease, and that is not easy.
Yeah, that human animal bond is so strong, you know, like, and it really does take, you know, a lot of understanding on everybody to really be able to work in those situations.
But it truly does show the power that a vet tech has to really, you know, have a fulfilling day in their jobs when they know that they can take on these challenges and be successful at them. So I think that that's incredible, and a big reason of why we celebrate, and there are so many reasons why we celebrate veterinary technicians, and I'd love to give you a moment to talk about some of those.
Yeah, so I mean, I think like to me as a veterinary technician, like why I personally celebrate is number one, like you know, we're so, it's fast moving, right, in the veterinary field and in practice. And a lot of times, like we are so grateful for each other, coworkers, clients are thankful, but like we don't always take the time to step back and be like, wow, like, thank you. Right? Like a lot of times, like we get so focused on the bad things that we forget to see the good. And this week is a time that we get to push that like negative, like that sometimes can see a lot of the positive and see like, wow, thank you. Thank you for your hard work. And sometimes just a simple thank you, I see you and I appreciate you means so much, especially to, you know, the veterinary team that really sometimes like they forget, like, they get so caught up in caring for others and animals that they forget to take care of themselves. And it's just so nice for somebody to say thank you. And it's a great way for us to, you know, to educate people on the profession. You know, not everybody knows what the role of a veterinary technician is and all that we do. So it's just a great way, you know, for us to be able to say like, hey, like, highlight, here's all the things that we do. Like we help in surgery, we help with anesthesia, we help you know, in exam rooms. Like we do a lot, and I don't think that that's always recognized if, you know, if you don't really pay close attention, because we are so you know, busy. We're doing all this stuff in the background, and I guess that's a good thing, because I guess it shows skill, but a lot of times you know, people don't even notice everything that we are doing.
I think too, just, you know, being a pet owner, and you know, you go into an office, right, or you go into an animal hospital, and there's, you know, the person at the front desk, there's the person who fills the prescriptions, there's the person in the exam room, that's the people behind the exam room when they take your pet back to get their shots or to do those things. And you go in and you just assume that like all of these people are vets if you don't know, you know what I mean? But you don't really understand how many vet techs and even vet assistants that are actually working on in one appointment with your dog or cat or any animal. And I think it's very easy to just assume that every person you meet in a vet office is a vet, because that's just,
Right.
You just don't think about it like that. I know I don't. So I know with you, Megan, one of the big things that you've taught all of us is about vet tech utilization and how widely utilized they are and all of the roles they can fill. And that is worth celebrating. And it's worth, us as people who own pets and put the lives of our animals in these people's hands. It's worth us celebrating you, but you're 100% right. It's worth you guys being able to celebrate yourself as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree.
So as we were just saying, all of these, things about being a vet tech, all the different roles you can fill. If anybody is watching this and they're wondering, why should I become a vet tech? I want to work with animals, but why should I go into this specific field? Can you speak a little bit about why becoming a vet tech is, important and how beneficial it can be?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll say for the majority of the people that enter veterinary medicine, they enter it because, you love animals, right? You want to help them. You of course, like you want that happy part, like with puppies and kittens, but like a lot of people, they recognize that like it's not always happy puppy kittens, and like, wanting to help animals that are sick and help them feel better and really help improve that relationship with the owners and the animals, and giving animals like a long, healthy life. And, it really, wanting to make a difference. I know sometimes people say like, oh, you're just a vet tech because you're not a veterinarian, or you're just, but it isn't. And I say it myself and I catch myself. And it's not just like, you're not just a vet tech. You are a vet tech and you make a difference. You are a very important part of the veterinary healthcare team. There's so much that you get to do hands-on, and you're, especially these days, like, very heavily utilized, because there are so many high demand for appointments. Like, veterinarians are really relying on their veterinary team, like veterinary technicians, to do a lot of the tasks that you go to school for and you learn. And so like, and it's not like a job that like it's the same every day. So like for people that like don't like the monotony of like just like doing the same thing every single day, it's I would say like it's never, every day is different. Every day has a new challenge. Every day has a new thing to celebrate. Yeah.
Those are all really good points. I think for people who feel that special bond and connection with animals, this could be an amazing and fulfilling career path. And like you mentioned too, veterinary technicians have and utilize so many skills. So it's definitely, a highly skilled job. It's something that will keep you on your toes and a great profession to enter if you really truly love animals and want to see them thrive and be well and be part of helping them feel great and stay healthy. So with, a lot of veterinary technicians, to become one, it does involve attaining those skills and getting that training. So, one of the reasons us at Penn Foster is talking about Veterinary Technician Week today is because we do have a veterinary technician. Awesome program. We have a lot of veterinary programs, and they really are designed to help you, on your path to getting an awesome job, but also succeeding in that awesome job and truly having the skills that you need to feel good about the work that you do and make a big difference. So Megan, can you talk a little bit about our veterinary programs that we offer?
Sure. So obviously, as you mentioned, there's the veterinary technician program. So, graduates of our veterinary technician program, they are eligible to become credentialed. So they can sit for the veterinary technician national exam once they graduate from the program to become credentialed. While all states don't require credentialing, a lot of states are starting to move towards a direction of requiring a credential to do certain tasks within the veterinary hospital. And even many states are moving in the direction to where there's title protection, where you can't call yourself a veterinary technician unless you've graduated from an accredited program.
That definitely makes sense. And I feel like in terms of just being a vet tech, if it were me, I would feel really great knowing that I was able to sit for that exam and get that actual title and be able to call myself a vet tech, because that's just, for personal development, personal growth, that's really important to be able to give yourself that title.
Yeah, yep, you get to put those initials after your name.
And that always is the best, right?
Yes. I remember I was very proud to be able to put ZVT after my name. So.
Oh yeah.
Still am.
Definitely would be amazing to put that on LinkedIn. And of course, it's a great way to help you stand out to employers as well.
Exactly. I always tell people, like, I have, working and as, overseeing a department, I always tell people, when you're putting a resume together, put that. Like, I always put, like, whenever I have my signature, I put, like, Megan Chadwick CVT. Like, you should definitely make sure that you put that in your resume, that you are credentialed.
Definitely good advice for anybody who is a graduate of our program and is credentialed and is watching today. But for those who are still thinking about, what program in the veterinary field might be right for them, what other programs do we offer aside from the veterinary technician associate degree program?
Yeah, so we also have a veterinary assistant program, and veterinary assistants, they play a very important role as well. A lot of people look at it as more of like a supporting role, because veterinary assistants, they support both the veterinary technician and the veterinarian. So veterinary assistants, it's a little bit like, it's not as, I would say, like the education isn't as like math heavy. Like, as a veterinary technician, you have to be able to like do drug calculations and things like that. As a veterinary assistant, it's not really one of the job duties. So if somebody's a little bit nervous, has not worked in veterinary field before, not sure if veterinary technician is right for them, and they're not ready to take that step, veterinary assistant is a great way to an entry-level position and really get your bearings within the veterinary field. If you're a veterinary assistant and that's, all you want to, if you wanted to stay a veterinary assistant, that's great. Like, we need veterinary assistants. Now, like, if you're a veterinary assistant, like, it's, you have the opportunity for career growth, you gain some confidence, and maybe you want to enroll into the veterinary technician degree. And then after that, we actually have a veterinary technology bachelor's degree. So this one's a completion degree. It's part of our AVMA accredited program, and it helps you advance in your current career. So students that have graduated from, or alumni have graduated from an AVMA accredited vet tech school are ones that are eligible to enroll into our bachelor's degree. So you complete like your first 4 years in an associate degree, and then your second, or your first 4 semesters, I should say, and your associate degree, and then the next 4 for your bachelor's, because usually a bachelor's is 8 semesters. So you take the second group of 4 for a completion degree. So you have to have that associate's degree first.
That's definitely great to know. And for the bachelor's degree, anyone who wants to pursue that, it helps you get those more advanced skills. So if you're really looking to have a long career as a vet tech and really thrive in your career, that is, a great thing to think about.
Yeah, like we talked about, willing to learn. I think, veterinary technicians are always hungry for more knowledge. We want to learn, we want to keep getting better. And this is a great way to build on that foundational information that you've learned in your associate degree, a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Then we also have a practice manager, a program that helps you prepare to be a practice manager. It's not uncommon for somebody that is working as a veterinary assistant or a veterinary technician to say, like, I want to be a manager. So this program helps you build the skills on the business side to be able to perform that role.
That's really great. I think it's really awesome to know that if you are a vet tech and you get to the point where, you know, you don't want to stay in this one place, you could, get this certificate and work towards opening or managing your own practice. Like, that is so cool that you could get all of these skills underneath like our umbrella of programs, that you could progress to any of these, like, higher levels, the associates to the bachelor's, the assistant to the vet tech to the practice manager. The sky's the limit, and and you can get it all underneath, this one umbrella of these programs that we offer.
Yeah. No, there's so much like growth within the veterinary field, and yeah, it's awesome that you can get it all through Penn Foster.
Definitely.
And I know our newest addition to the veterinary umbrella is our vet telehealth certificate. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so vet telehealth has been around for a long time, right? But it really hasn't been something that's been leveraged or utilized in practice because we really didn't need it. But now we do. With the pandemic, it like hurdled us like into, and whether people wanted to or not, into the future.
Yeah.
And telehealth is the future. With this, like we're able to do appointments and consulting and talk with pet owners by different communication, phone, text, whatever it is. And this certificate really helps you to understand the different aspects of telehealth and how like you can use it like as a veterinary technician. Plus it is worth I think it is worth continuing education credits, and if you're a credentialed veterinary technician, you do need to get those to keep your license.
How cool.
All
You can
good
get
points.
You can do a CE course and then come out of it with a certificate. That's the best of both worlds. That's hitting two birds with one stone,
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of, clinics that are using telehealth now. So, I mean, it's a really great, skill to add. There are, even companies out there that are always looking for veterinary technicians to work specifically in like for their telehealth, company. So it's a really great way to, build your resume and those additional skills and knowledge to give you a leg up against, other people in the field. And it's worth up to like 80 CE. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of resilience, it's a great way to kind of, persist in these, I don't know, pandemic, kind of like we're post-pandemic, wherever we are, times where we are doing more. The pandemic did change everything. And now a lot of people even just want to do telehealth versus coming in for an appointment if they can. And so this definitely can help you be more resilient in your career and improve your skills to really kind of meet pet owners where they want to be, which is, it's just more convenient to do it that way sometimes. So it's a great skill set to have and something amazing to learn to add to your resume.
For sure.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Lauren.
So, Megan, thank you so much for taking us through everything about, what Vet Tech Week is, how vet techs are so resilient, how to become one, why vet techs are so important. There's just so much that goes into, this week being so important and so necessary. And I just wanted to say thank you to you, and thank you so much to everybody watching who's a vet tech or wants to become one. Your work is so important to our society, to pets, to pet owners, to all of us. So it truly means a lot. But for everyone watching, they may be wondering how they can join in on some of the Vet Tech Week fun that we have planned here at Penn Foster. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah, sure. So, this week there's going to be some webinars that you can join with some useful information helping your career. And I think that there's going to be some things on social as well, right?
Yes, we are doing a whole week long celebration. There's going to be tons of stuff on our social channels, so keep your eyes open on Instagram and Facebook and our TikTok. If you don't follow us, we're at Penn_Foster, and we're going to be putting up some great stuff over there. We're going to be sharing stories from our students and grads. We're going to be sharing blogs so that you could learn more. I mean, we gave you a lot of information in this Facebook Live, but we are going to be putting out blogs and more content, what the job is like, all that great stuff. There's also going to be webinars during the week. We have our veterinary webinar series that happens a couple times a month, where we do free webinars for vet techs or anybody in the vet industry. There's going to be one on the 18th for neurology for vet technicians, so we'll put that link in the comments if anybody wants to register. And just if you're a vet tech or a vet tech student and you want to share your thoughts about the program, or talk about the theme of resilience, or have a great picture of you studying with your pets, or have a picture of you at work with an animal that you think is great, send us a DM on Facebook or Instagram, or tag us in the picture, so that we can give you a shout out on social, because that is our favorite thing to do on social media, is to celebrate you guys. And this week we want to celebrate all the amazing vet tech students and vet techs out there. So join in on the fun, be a part of the conversation with us on social media, and just let us celebrate you, because it's what we want to do this week.
Yeah, I love seeing, pictures of our students on Instagram and everything. Especially I always see like people's animals are always joining in their study sessions. So such a great share.
Yes. Use hashtag pets of Penn Foster if you have a nice study selfie with your pet, or if you're at work and you get a cute picture with one of your, clients or something cute. Tag us, use our hashtag, and we will put it everywhere, because we love that. But Megan, thank you so much again. It's always so fulfilling and so informative when we get to talk to you during Vet Tech Week every year. We love sharing your expertise with, our social media followers and all the people watching this. And thank you all for tuning in. It means everything to us that you want to celebrate the vet techs this week. And keep your eye on social. Check out our website for more info. And we will see you next time.
Thanks for having me today.
Happy Vet Tech Week, everyone.
Yes.
Happy Vet Tech Week.
Bye, guys. See you next time.